Gangsters, finally I'm back with the next video about lambda expressions. Today I want to talk about applications of lambda expressions, especially in built-in functions. So as you know, there are built-in functions in Python like max, and we already have this list of integer values, and if we want to get the max value, we just pass it the list to the built-in function max, we run it, and we get the max value. So here we have one application of lambda expressions. Though you actually don't need a lambda expression here, you could do it with a function also, but in general we use a lambda expression here in this case. So the max function has a parameter, it's optional. That's why we could run the function without it also. But now we will use it, and we pass a lambda expression here to this key parameter, and maybe we increment x by 1. Nothing changes, of course, because now the max value is computed by the results of this key function. So what Python does is it looks for the max value, and therefore it adds 1 to each value. So of course nothing changes, we still get 5 as output. But we could do more interesting things like minus x. This would do what? It will actually, how can we say it? Now we have a min function here, because we return the max value by inverting the values. So we always get the minimal value here, for positive integers, of course. And another application, if we go a bit further into it, we could have a list of tuples, 1, 2, and 2, 5 maybe, and to make it more interesting, -2 and 3. Okay, so that's our list of tuples. Now let's just run. No, wait, I will put a 5 here and a 1 here. So if I run this code now, we get as return value this second tuple here as max value. Do you know why? By which metric does Python actually compute the max value here? Why is 2, 1 the max tuple? I mean, 1 and 5, the sum is 6, so this could be bigger actually if we look at sums. But the point is, Python only looks at the first element. That's why we get as result 2, 1, because the second element here, this second tuple, in its first position, it has the biggest number of the 3 first values here. And now we use a lambda expression here, and we can define by which value we want to compute the max. Of course, as I said before, you could just pass a function here like this, and we define it before in a regular way. But it's easier, and it's the way you do it in Python. If you have a short function, you don't write the whole function. Even more so if you just use it once. If you only use it here in this situation, you write it as a lambda expression. So if we want to get the max value by, say, the second element of each tuple, then what we do is this. And as you see, now we get as a result the first one, because the 5 is the largest number of the 3. And you see the x now is a tuple. The lambda expression takes a tuple and it returns only the second element from the tuple. So we compute the max value by the second element of each tuple. And of course we could do anything we like here. If you want it as sum, as we have as x is a tuple, we could return sum x and nothing will change. If we add a 12 here like this, you see, yeah, that's clear actually, or a 4, and it's still this one. Or we could do anything here. And that's a very typical application for lambda expressions. Yeah? As you saw it, if we don't use it here, the key parameter, if we don't use it, the max value is only computed by the first entry of each tuple. That's why we have to use the key parameter if we want a custom max value, or if we want to define the max value as the second element is the largest, or the sum, or whatever. So that's a very short function, so that's why we don't write it in a regular way like def func x. That's now the same. That's how we could also do it, yeah. And then here we pass func like this. But in general, it's more to do, more work. So we just write the lambda here in one line. More so if you only use it once. So here we have a very typical application. Everything I told you now is also valid for the min function, of course. Here you can do exactly the same thing. In the next videos, we will gonna have a look into more built-in functions and how you can combine them with lambda expressions to get more functionality. So I hope this video helped you. If you have questions, write them in the comments, and see you next time.